What do we mean by most dangerous foods? Foods that will send you to the grave faster than any other. And these foods are a bit hard to categorize, so I will keep it to general food groups. 5. Low quality processed meat. This includes farmed fish, conventionally raised eggs, any animal, whether it's pork, chicken, beef, fish, when not raised on a healthy diet, becomes an unhealthy product. The fat profile of the animal will literally become what it is being fed. If you feed a chicken corn and soy, it will have high amounts of omega-6, low amounts of nutrients, and be very allergenic. The same chicken on pasture eating bugs and forage will be one of the healthiest things you can eat. We are raising our animals just like ourselves. Low quality, crappy food making us fat without giving us nutrients. Yes, these low quality animal foods might be better for us than a lot of the other junk foods and fast foods that we're eating now, but they're still not good. 4. High anti-nutrient plant foods. This is a very broad topic and far too extensive to cover in this video. What we have to understand is that plants have built-in defensive systems against humans. Seeds and grains, for example, have high amounts of phytates and oxalates binding to minerals and taking them out of the body. Legumes are typically high in lectins, damaging the gut lining, and cruciferous vegetables like kale and spinach can be very high in thyroid-inhibiting substances. There are dozens and dozens of these anti-nutrients. All plant foods contain different amounts of various ones. Coffee is a big one, and even fruits like berries are high in oxalates. And keep in mind, the wild plant foods that our ancestors consumed were much higher in vitamins, minerals, and elements, so even though they might have been consuming some anti-nutrient plant foods, they were a world of a difference from what we have now. 3. Refined grain carbohydrates. Refined carbohydrates can be consumed in excess very easily, leading to obesity, diabetes, various lifestyle diseases. These foods also contain herbicides, pesticides, synthetic chemicals sprayed on crops in mass amounts. Even whole grains typically contain low amounts of nutrients, but refined grains have even less minerals and still have some of the anti-nutrients present in grains. Many whole grain products are actually just refined carbohydrates with fiber added back in. Not that whole grains are healthier anyway. Now, there are groups of people who have lived in good health on foods like naturally fermented sourdough bread, but that sourdough bread from the supermarket is far from what our ancestors ate. There's also a large amount of evidence that enriched grain products, where we are fortifying them with vitamins and minerals, also contribute to obesity. 2. Sugar. Foods high in sugar cause overeating by creating unnatural food palatability, as the body does not have a signal to stop eating sweet things. And when combined with fat, lead to insulin resistance, diabetes, increased fatty acids in the blood, which when compounded with our final worst food is one of the most damaging things. High fructose corn syrup in particular is a culprit here. Fructose normally occurs in all carbohydrate-containing foods, along with other sugars, glucose, sucrose, and the body absorbs and digests each of these differently, using different enzymes. Fructose is only able to be processed by the liver. So consuming high fructose corn syrup, unnatural levels of fructose, large amounts of fruit is partially why we have so many people with fatty liver, diabetes, and insulin resistance. 1. By far the most dangerous food to eat is vegetable seed oils. Sunflower oil, corn oil, soybean, cottonseed, peanut oil are all made by pressing seeds into sludge and processing it with chemicals. Essentially, a byproduct that we used to use to lubricate machinery, but some greedy demons decided to make it into margarine, put it into food, and market it as healthy. What happens here is simple, but not well known. The fats in your body turn into whatever you eat. So when you consume these seed oils that are high in linoleic acid and omega-6, the lipids, the cholesterol, all the fats in your blood, in your body, turn into plant seed oil fats. Your body doesn't recognize the new fat cell composition, attacks the cells, which leads to heart disease and a whole bunch of other health issues. Combining these foods is the perfect storm of poison. The lipids in your body are turning into inflammatory omega-6 fat because of all the crappy meat and seed oils you eat. Then you eat sugar, which causes more fat to be released in the bloodstream because you become insulin resistant. This means more high omega-6 fat floating in your blood, and more fat in your blood means more fat that can be oxidized. It's not a question if you will suffer from chronic disease on a standard American diet consuming these foods. It's a matter of which one of these diseases will manifest itself first. It becomes clear and easy to understand why people are so sick and unhealthy. Many junk foods, processed foods, candy bars, ice cream are combinations of the foods that we mentioned here. Even by just looking at the paper value of these foods, there are clear negative downsides. We aren't even factoring in things such as quality, age of the food and mold growth, allergies and inflammation a person is suffering from, smoking, lack of exercise, pollution, all of which compound and result in sick, fat, unhappy people. One thing we didn't mention was nutrient density, vitamins, minerals, elements, and fatty acids. That's because none of these foods have any semblance of nutrition whatsoever. So not only are they damaging your body, causing systemic inflammation in various ways, they're not giving you any of the bodybuilding nutrients you need to thrive and be healthy. Thank you guys for joining me. If you could please like the video, subscribe, hit that bell icon, share the video if you can. If you guys would like to support me further, definitely check out frankiesfreerangemeat.com. My dream is to provide you guys with high quality, nutrient-dense animal foods at the most affordable price. You can also check out frankiesnaturals.com for minimal ingredients, minimally processed hygiene and cosmetic products. Thanks again for joining me, guys. Reach out to frankatofano@gmail.com if you are interested in a health consultation.